Hello everyone and welcome to class. Our topic today on civic education is traffic regulation. Okay, but before we go to our main topic of today, you know the usual, we have to go back to our previous topic. Okay, our previous topic, one of the things we discussed are the factors that affect good parenting. Okay, now one of the factors we discussed that affect good parenting is what? Good education. When parents are not properly educated, they tend not to know things about their children. Okay, also have good governance. When the government is able to provide everything that is needed for the children and for the family too, everybody will tend to follow the right procedures. Another one is obeying rules and regulation. When children come to an environment that rules and regulation are being adorned, then everybody tends to follow the normal procedure. Good value system is also part of it. When children come to the world and see good positive values, when parents have positive values that influences their children with such values, the children tend to become better, and they tend to become good parents. Okay, let's also go back to the constraints. We also discussed some constraints on good parenting, the things that affects our parents not to perform the way they should perform. One of it is illiteracy. When parents are not properly educated, when parents don't even know the right thing, they'll be making a lot of mistakes. Okay, another one is customs and tradition. Some customs and tradition are so barbaric that it affects the way parents train their children. For example, in some cultures, female education is seen as a taboo. So when a female child is seen as remain in the kitchen, you see, it will affect the kind of training that child has. Okay, that will now take us to our main topic of today, which is traffic regulation. Traffic regulation is not something that is new to us. It's something we've been doing right from nursery school, primary school, and now we have seen it also in our secondary school. All right, let's check the meaning of traffic regulation. We said that traffic regulation are the various laws, regulations, and signs guiding the road users and on the proper and effective use of road. They are those laws. There are laws. Before you can be able to wake up in the morning and decide to move to the road, you should know that there is something ahead of you. You should be able to plan. You should know that there is something guiding you as you step out on the road. Whether you are a motorist, whether you're a pedestrian, whether you're a cyclist, or anything you want to use. But you know that there is law. There are people that are coming for you if you should disobey those laws. We have regulation. Any place that doesn't have any rules and regulation that guides that person tends to make a lot of mistakes. Imagine on our road today, we don't have those regulations, those things that guide us, like the green lights that always tell us to do to go. Imagine if there is no amber light that says get ready, and there is no red light that tells us stop. You can imagine what will be happening on our road. In fact, if you can think very well, on the road that don't have all those traffic signs, you know what happens. That is, it leads to a lot of accidents. People lose their lives every day. Why? Because of all these things. Because there are no rules. And even if there is, people are not obeying it. So this regulation will help you to know that there are limits to everything. That in as much as you have freedom of movement, like we've discussed before in our SS1, that we have freedom of movement, doesn't make you not abide by some things. You don't have freedom of movement to go and kill another people, or because you feel you have the freedom to use the road. Okay, that is why we have the regulation and the signs. I've explained that. The amber light which says get ready, the green light which says go, and the red light that says that you should stop, guiding the road users on the proper and effective use of the roads. The world today, in fact, it's only in our country anyway, because if you travel in some countries that are advanced, you will notice that a lot of people, in fact, if you disobey any traffic regulation, you will be fined heavily. In fact, I know someone that paid £200 just because of he didn't obey a traffic law, and he was even jailed for it. So you see that all these rules, all this, the main aim of traffic regulation is to make sure that we abide by these things. Now let's come down to our country, Nigeria. So many roads, even when people will see that there is traffic sign, there is traffic law, there is traffic regulation, they tend to disobey, they tend to do things. But now, it's no longer business as usual, as the government has now made it a priority that things must be done. So in our subsequent class, we will be able to discuss how these things, how the measures that the government has put in place to make sure that these things are properly done. Okay, let's now look at the rules on the use of road. When we're talking about the rules on the use of road, we are going to take it step by step. And the first people we are going to be looking at is the pedestrian. The pedestrians are you and me walking on the road. Walking, you and me, waking up in the morning, going to school on our own, walking. I said those ones that walk toward school. The things a pedestrian should do. Now, a pedestrian should be able to look properly before he or she crosses the road. I believe you know that. You look left, look right, and then go back to left again before you can be able to cross. Because if you don't do that, well, the essence of looking left, right, and then going back again is to make sure that even if by the time you looked right, another car is coming, you will be able to know that. You will be able to do what? Detect it before crossing. It will help reduce what? Accidents. Another one is that when you are walking on the road, you will see a paved way that is meant for pedestrian, for people that walk. You can't see a way that is meant for pedestrian and then you move to the way that is meant for car or cyclists. It is not what? Done. So as a pedestrian, you walk on the particular place that is meant for the what? The pedestrian. Okay? Now let's look at the cyclist. The cyclist has to do with what? The Okada riders, the motorcycle riders, anyone that has to do with cycling. Okay, as long as it has 2 legs, it's cycle. Okay, these people are the second in command after the pedestrian. These ones has to be very, very careful in what they are doing, because you know, in our country today, the main issue we have in our country today is the Okada riders and the bicycle riders. You don't compete with a motorist or you don't compete with a pedestrian. You are not dragging anything. So as a cyclist, you are meant to obey that particular law, obey that particular rule, walk on the path that is meant for you as a cyclist, and not moving to where you are not supposed to move. You don't collide with a moving car. You don't collide with a moving vehicle. You don't collide with a trailer. You allow everybody be at a spot. In fact, if you go, the next class, we are going to move to the road so that we can be able to understand better how these things work. Okay? The next people we are talking about are the motorists. Motorists are also known as the king of the roads. They are the ones that owns the road. They are the ones that has the major place in the road. So these motorists are the ones that comprises of the cars, the lorries, the trailers, the caterpillars, and what may have. These are the ones that are in charge of the road. These are the ones that should obey these traffic rules the more, because they are the ones that causes most of the accidents we have on our road today. They are the ones that disobeys most of our traffic regulations today. They are the ones that are supposed to be sure that things are properly done, because if they don't do it that way, it might end up causing havoc or menace in our road. Are the ones before you can be able to move as a motorist, you have to wait to make sure that the light has also told you to move. Because if you don't obey that sign, what will happen is that you will collide with another car. Let's assume we are in a place whereby there is four ways to move. Imagine if there is something like that, and then you did not obey that sign at that particular moment, what will happen? The cars will collide and will cause a terrible accident, and it might even lead to what? Death. People will die in what? In that position. So please, as a motorist, one of the rules is that you obey the signs and obey the regulation and obey the laws of a road. Okay, let's have a rundown on what we've learned today. Remember that traffic regulation are the various laws and signs guiding the what? Road users on the proper and efficient use of the road. If you don't know how to use the road, there is no way things will what? Work. All right. Remember that the pedestrian has a zebra crossing where you can be able to stand and wait for cars to move before you cross. All right. And then as a pedestrian, make sure that you are walking on a place where vehicles are coming. Not, you won't walk in a place where the vehicles will be moving at your back, because you don't even know what is happening at your back. You can only see what is happening at your front. And the cyclists should try their possible best not to what? Start challenging themselves with motorists, because it might cause a what? A very big fatal accident. And funny enough is that they are the ones that will get injured the most. All right, thank you so much for listening to me, and you have a beautiful day. Bye.